MRW talking, dating, advice. I had a conversation with, I don't want to call her a friend of mine, but we met years ago on a dating site. And I don't know whether or not to say things didn't work out or they just sort of fizzled out. At the time, I mean, definitely there was an opportunity for us to have sex, but I thought she was a cool person, and the fear that I had was, okay, this type of woman is going to want a relationship, and I didn't want to push forward with that, and lead her down, and just lead her in the wrong direction. So I opted not to have sex. So we eventually fell out of contact for a couple years. I know I went on various social media sites looking for her, couldn't find her until about a month and a half ago, and at least on her end, the interest is, it's not mutual like it was two and a half years ago. She blew me off. We had plans to hang out. Her suggestion, by the way, and she asked me if I had a car. I don't have a car. Then the lines of communication just went cold, just stone cold. Didn't hear back from her. So, short-term memory is how I like to play when it comes to dealing with women. Deleted the phone number, all that stuff. And out of nowhere, she calls me last night with boyfriend problems. There was some guy she had been dating, and he relocated to Washington. And she just wanted to know where she should go with that. They were sexually involved. He actually, after he moved up there, he had to go up there. So she went up there. They had sex afterwards. He told her that, yeah, it's not going to work out. So left up to your own judgment. I mean, I'm a guy. You can say it's a dick move. It's a bit of a dick move, but it is what it is. So now she's left with questions, and I'm listening to her. It's funny because she's overestimating her value. Now, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So I'm just going to go ahead and just put her on a scale. And I think that most guys, if you saw her, you would agree with me. Some of you might disagree with me and give her a lower rating, but look, hey, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being a dime piece, 1 being a complete duck, 6, about a good 6. So not the prettiest thing in the world. So, but she doesn't know it. I mean, the way she's talking, she doesn't know it. And, I had to sort of break it to her mallet. Like I was honest. So I'm not just making this video. So it's not like I was on the phone with her last night and I told her something completely than what I'm telling you guys. I mean, I pretty much told her about the same thing. And so it was hard for her to accept it. But, I had to give her the hard truth, which is, look, the women down here in South Florida are a bit hard or a bit critical. They make it very difficult on men. And when you go to a state like Washington, which is very chill, and I don't know, and it sounds like he might have gone to Seattle, but yeah, which is very chill, very laid back. If you're a nice looking guy making good money, meeting someone there, which is going to happen fairly quickly. That that whole city, that culture is just conducive to dating. It just is. So from what I've heard, I've never been up there, but from what I've seen on TV and heard from people that have visited or lived there, it's it's a much better dating market. And so, a 5, a 6, 7, I know she was telling me that there are no direct flights from Fort Lauderdale up to, I think she lives even farther north than me, like Deerfield, Delray. But anyways, there are no direct flights from Southeast Florida to Washington. So, it's more like a 7-hour flight, which is like, again, I mean, are you really going to go out of your way to catch a 7-hour flight to date a woman that's not really all that attractive when you can meet a far more attractive girl in your home state? And it's just a better culture that's going to have a better personality. This culture is more of an island. A lot of Jamaicans, a lot of Haitians, a lot of Latins, but there are certain subcultures. It depends on which Latin American country you're from, and and that's where it gets a bit dicey, a bit more difficult to sort of figure out, like, is this girl worth my time, or is this guy worth my time? It gets a bit difficult. It's just way too much. And when you go to a place like Washington, it's a lot easier. Like the culture there is pretty defined. Like, right off the bat, this type of person you can date, this type of person you can't date. It's just easier. I think it's a lot more transparent. That the motives are a lot more transparent, especially for those who are seasoned daters, veterans, I should say. So, so knowing your value. I actually did a video weeks ago about that. Knowing your value. You have to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and know your overall rating from inside and out, what that is. Some of us can be a 10 on the inside, but a 3 on the outside. And you can work out, you can put on makeup, and you can wear certain types of clothing and stuff like that to make your appearance look better. But you have to know that there are certain strengths that you have as a man or woman that the next man or woman does not have, and you have to look for every advantage. You have to be able to look at yourself and not just, don't be a victim, but ask questions like, why would a guy do that? Why would a girl do that? All right. Because there are always reasons why. There are always reasons why people just decide to dump you, or start waste your time, or look at you in a less than favorable way. Ask those questions, figure out what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what can you capitalize on in the dating market? Because you can't compete. If you're not a 10, then you can't compete with another 10. Like, that's just not a route you can go. But what you can focus on is personality. What can you do to demonstrate your personality that's going to be every bit as sexy and more attractive as, the dime piece or the hot guy, at least on the exterior. That's going to be every bit as attractive as that. What can you do? Questions and comments below. Until next time.